Hello, beautiful people. This one's going to be a lot nicer of an update because this one is for all of the people that are part of this journey. And you may be somebody who has already gotten into XRP wondering what to do. You may be somebody who's sitting on the sidelines with some cash and you're wondering what to do. We're going to go through all that. We're going to do a macro update of what's going on and what the outlook looks like on the macro side of things. We're going to do an XRP update, give you a bit of a download there. I'm going to share a cash deployment strategy that some people could use. If you use it and lose all your money, that's your fault. Remember, follow your own plan. This is not even advice. This is Sim hanging out and talking shit. And then we're going to go down the crypto watch list and just look at a few different things. Okay, so on the macro side of things, on the big picture, we still haven't even started the proper money printing cycle that is actually going to take all of these assets to the moon and to Andromeda Galaxy. That process is likely to start whenever they decide. If they call me, I will let you know. They haven't called me yet. But in this case, right now what's happening is we are going through a liquidity pump just from the previous liquidity that was printed. This yellow line is liquidity, okay? And these candles are XRP. I'm sure you know that. There's a 10-week delay between liquidity going up and down and it being reflected in Bitcoin. There's a slight delay between Bitcoin and XRP. But in this case, liquidity peaked back here on 30th of September. So it looks like if the 10-week delay process plays out exactly, that takes us out to 9th of December for the top of Bitcoin and the top of XRP to be somewhere close. The local top, just as beginning top. This top is not the top. Like I said, the real money printing hasn't even begun yet. So we're going to look at kind of going forward what that's going to look like. But what liquidity shows is that after that, there's a precipitous fall for a couple months. So since liquidity is the ocean, the water in the ocean, the liquidity in the ocean that drives all assets, it's likely that we will have a big correction on XRP, just like everything else. XRP actually has a very, very volatile corrections, very, very large candle corrections. The same way it shoots up like a rocket, it then collapses like a rocket. Thankfully, we have Elon to catch it in his little wing things, and then it shoots off again. But it looks like that process is likely to play out. It's already done this. It's already created a couple of these flags, popped out, flag, popped out. It could be making another flag, maybe one final pop out. Who knows? Nobody knows for sure. But what we are seeing is we're seeing the Bitcoin dominance start to break down. Actually, we're going to look at that in a second. Before that, this is actually the best reflection we have. Yes, I know you've seen it multiple times, but there may be some people who are joining new, so we're just going to talk about it again. Liquidity is money. Money is printed. Money is printed when central banks have debts to pay. That's especially the US, that's when they print money to pay for all this stuff. An excuse is used. It could be cyber attacks. An upcoming excuse could be cyber attacks, could be World War III, could be some new scamdemic that's released. It could be a lot of different things. Who knows? Not me, for sure. But this blue line is the debts that they have, the interest payments that they have on the debts going forward, which goes parabolic until 2027. This white line is how much money they print. See, they haven't started printing money. This is their own balance sheet. That process is likely to kick off, and when it does, expect assets to go bananas. Now, they don't just start printing money from the point of, hey, everything is bullish, we're all going to get rich, everybody jumps in, Joe Schmo gets ready to get rich, and then they just print it and make everybody rich. That's not how the game works. That's why most people aren't rich. What happens is, like this time, right? This was like 2018, 2019. Their balance sheet is going down. Money printing is effectively going down. Their debts are going up. And then all of a sudden, voila, schmovid happens. Okay, people started coughing. And at that point, crypto falls off of a cliff. Bitcoin falls off of an absolute cliff. I can't put it on this chart because this chart is made by somebody else. Money printing goes bananas. Crypto falls off of a cliff. Everybody gets terrified because the world is ending. Nobody wants to buy crypto. Smart money loads up for us in an extended period of time. Then we have the actual bull run, and then the Joe Schmoes come in to buy at the top and hold the bags like they always do. A similar thing is going to play out this time. At least that's what's happened in history. It's likely that something scary is coming up, especially if this liquidity correction happens and there's a precipitous, I love that word, precipitous fall off of a cliff, drinking with the pinkies up. That should scare people enough to get out of crypto and not touch it with a 40-meter stick. And then the money printing should start. Okay. Regardless, so much money needs to be printed that it will make numbers not make sense. It is going to cause insane volatility and destruction in the world as people's savings get destroyed, but it's going to cause crypto and these digital assets to go to numbers that just won't make sense. Okay. Now, for me, XRP was the play the whole time. One, it was just the most obvious bet. It was just the dumbest, most obvious bet that I could make. And, Raoul Pal and a lot of the financial geniuses, they talk about the bell curve, right? So it's like on one side are the dumbest people. On one side are the most genius people. And the vast majority of people fall in the middle. The dumbest people just make the dumbest moves. They go, hey, this is such a stupid, obvious bet. It's like, why do I buy Bitcoin? Number go up. That's their reason. The smartest people go through their entire journey and realize, yeah, actually, I buy because number go up eventually over time. The middle people are always trying to figure out all the details and trying to calculate the probabilities and the statisticals, but this happened and that, they're overthinking shit. And that's why they are stuck in the middle with everybody else, right? So XRP was the dumbest, most obvious bet, especially for me to be able to see the inside of this industry and be part of these conversations. It was obvious that, hey, this thing is super suppressed. It's at very cheap prices. Its potential use case is insane, and it moves in these God candle modes. So why not just buy it at the end of this triangle? Duh, that was obvious. So in this money printing, XRP and these other assets should catch up in a significant way. What are these other assets? We just spoke about it in the other video, but I'm sure you didn't watch it. That's cool. You're probably busy. I respect you for that. XRP, XLM, Algorand, HBAR, Cardano. Also, XDC is part of it. Cello, nobody even knows about Cello. Cello is part of it. Chia is going to be used for carbon credits down the road. I bet you've never even heard that. And no, it's not the pet that has the hair grow out. All of those things were pretty cool. If you're very, very old like me, you will remember what those were. So, going forward, macro, money printing, insane, out until 2027. My thesis from this is that 2025 isn't the end of the bull run. It's the end of this bull run. Then there's a major correction. We go into what looks like a bear market. Everybody thinks the game is done. Everybody exits the markets and starts paying attention to other things. There's another wave of money printing that happens, and I think we have another leg in this bull run, and that would, fake a lot of people out, because this is actually the final major bull run that we'll be able to benefit from, according to my perspective. Also from Raul. He said that these next 6 years are the final 6 years we have to make as much money as we like before economics as a concept changes to the degree that the greatest financial minds in the world cannot understand what the economy looks like when we have artificial intelligences and robots and metaverses and things we can't even imagine, zero-point energy, and who else knows what's coming. That's the macro, up and to the right, but there's a big correction coming. Now, specifically in the markets themselves right now, this Bitcoin dominance has been something that has been important to watch, because Bitcoin dominance going up means altcoin season isn't here. Bitcoin dominance has now finally broken out. Another reflection that was brought to our attention by Ben Cohen is the Bitcoin dominance removing stablecoins. So that has also broken down, which means, yes, the liquidity is now flowing from Bitcoin to the altcoins, and of course, that is why things are pumping. Now imagine this. This little breakdown is what made, XLM go 500%, XRP go blah, blah percent, everybody go bananas. These solid coins exploded right here, right now, while a lot of the other things that people were holding that aren't dino coins have not done nothing. It's because the financial elite are front running this entire global financial system. So within XRP itself. It's really important to understand. Now, here's how I look at it. I look at it from this reflection. I love this reflection. This is the Fibonacci moving averages. We have now broken above this fib. XLM has already gone up to the second top fib. Could it go all the way to the top? Yes. Could it not? Yeah. Who knows? Nobody really knows what's actually going to happen. But the point is, we've been loading up since back here. If you're somebody smart, you have an average entry of 50 to 60 cents. Now, it's already at many multiples of that. If you're at 50 cents, you're at a 4x. Firstly, congratulations. You have a black belt in patience, and you deserve the money that's coming to you. If you're somebody who didn't get in and now is crying about it, congratulations. You have a white belt in crying a lot, and you deserve everything that's coming to you as well, for sure. You actually deserve it more. In this case, price has been trending up, but the indicators are trending down. Yes, this is a hybrid indicator, but go check it yourself. Momentum and RSI are trending down on the daily, which is usually an early warning signal. Excusez-moi. Is an early warning signal that price should correct. Now, XRP does have a way of not giving a shit about any of that and is still breaking up, and it could continue that for some period of time. But there are bearish signals starting to happen. It makes sense. Liquidity is going to turn around in a bit of time. On the weekly, we still haven't seen that, right? The weekly is the one that I watch. On the weekly, the momentum is still up. The indicators are still going up. We are getting up into the range where in past history, we've seen tops. So, back here, every time we go above this range, it's basically the end zone. At that point, taking some major profits off the top makes sense. Now, if you're sitting on a 4x already, right? Depends on what your strategy is. You follow your strategy. If your strategy is you just ride the waves all the way through, which is like Raoul Pal's strategy, then then just follow your strategy. Here's a good strategy that I've found to work. If I put in a certain amount of money, let's say I put in $1,000 into the market, when it doubles, I'm happy to take out 20% of my initial capital because my strategy is I just don't want to lose my $1,000. Let's say $100,000. $100,000 probably took you a long time to earn. Depends on who you are. But, $100,000 is a lot of money. So let's say you put in $100,000. Now it says $200,000. XRP goes to $1 from 50 cents, and it says $200,000. At that point, taking out 20% of the initial capital makes sense. Now you have $20,000 out, and you have $180,000 in the market. Then XRP goes up again, and now it says $300,000. By now, it should say $400,000-ish, right, as you get close to that 4x. At that point, taking out 20% of the initial capital at each multiple should have $80,000 of your money back. Now you only have $20,000 risk in the market, and you still have a large amount of money in there. Now you do whatever you want. This is just me talking to myself. So that kind of de-risking myself along the way makes a lot of sense to me. That also then gives me cash to put on the sidelines. So if and when this major correction happens, I'm happy to go and buy up a bunch of other assets. Now XLM has been even more bananas, right? So, and a good average entry was around 14 cents, let's say 15 cents, just for number's sake. It's at 50. That's many multiples above. So again, taking little bits out along the way and putting cash on the side is a smart thing to do. Nobody goes broke taking profits. Now, once it gets up to this range, which is about $1, around $1 for XLM, and is around $5 for XRP, I'm happy to take a big chunk out of the markets. If I put in $100,000 into the markets, and it goes to $500,000 in like a few weeks. Listen, I'm not a greedy fucker, okay? I'm going to go ahead and take a decent chunk out of the markets. What that decent chunk is, you decide. If you've been following this strategy, if I've been following this strategy, then I have my $100,000 out. My initial capital is already out. Then there's a bunch left in there. I might take out another 100 grand. Now I have 200 grand. I've doubled my money, plus I have X amount sitting in the markets. So having these profit-taking points along the way makes a lot of sense. Yes, it's very likely to go much further, but also it just finished a 60-year triangle. So there's a possibility that it crashes or whatever. We don't know what's going to happen. The point is, all these assets are going to have insane amounts of volatility. We are in an extreme volatility regime. Okay, there's a reason why on my favorites I have this gold Weimar listed, because you simply have to study history to understand what's going to happen. And this was the price of gold. This is the volatility of the price of gold in Weimar, Germany, in the Weimar Republic. Gold was worth single-digit Deutsche Marks in 1914. The volatility started to go insane on it. Then it was worth double digits and it crashes. Then it becomes worth almost triple digits and crashes. Then quadruple digits, quintuple digits. You know, it was worth, let's say, 5 Deutsche Marks, then 50, then 500, then 10,000. And this is just a few years. 10,000, then a million, then 100 million, then 10 billion, then a trillion. From 1914 to 1925 or whatever. But this is the volatility that happens along the way. Insane volatility that makes things just not make sense. This is where people get shaken out. This is also why on XRP, I'm very careful about setting stop losses. I am not setting a trend-based stop loss on this. Yes, I've said that's something to do on a lot of assets. On XRP, fuck no, I'm not doing that. Why? This is why. I'm so glad you asked me the questions that I ask myself. XRP has a tendency to do stuff like this. There's these candles where if you set a logical stop loss at a place where you shall get your money back, it just freaks out and goes down well below that and completely knocks you out of your trade, and you're the one left crying because you wanted to set a stop loss on it. On certain exchanges, there was that one time where, I forgot which chart it's showing on, there was that one time where Binance had an issue and it dropped the price down to 0.0017 cents and everybody got knocked out of the trade. Okay, so I am not setting stop losses on this thing. I am letting it play out. I'm letting it breathe and letting it have that insane volatility as it wishes. I take some profits, keep some cash on the side. If it crashes 50, 60, 70, hopefully it crashes 99% overnight and I get to go in and buy it up at those cheap prices. But I'm not getting knocked out of this trade, especially after this much patience to get through. Now, yes, if somebody has cash sitting on the sidelines, let's imagine I have some cash sitting on the sidelines, then in this next liquidity correction, which according to this should play out between, let's say, end of first week of December to like February, in that time, I'm going to put it all into the markets because here liquidity is already starting to go up, which means around February liquidity goes up. I'm putting that into the markets. Where am I putting it? Right now, I'm looking at Near. Near is near to my heart. It's an AI play effectively and has a lot of conversations in hedge fund circles, which are the circles you really want to listen to. Also Render. Render did fantastic over the last little while, and until March, it was actually one of the best performers that gave us a lot of liquidity. Render, Near, Solana, definitely going to pick some up. Solana's a golden child. Not happy to buy it at $250, but in the correction, that's a great idea. And Sui. Where are we at, Sui? Sui is basically the Facebook coin that they tried to launch. What was it called? Libra or whatever. They weren't allowed to do it, but that entire team went to Sui. Sui is the chosen one. I can see that. Raul Pal is on the board, but even more importantly, they're doing a lot of work with a lot of different people, and it has the golden check mark. So those are the 4 that I'm going to look to buy. There's going to be 10% going into meme coins that I'm happy to buy around that time. But my strategy is to buy big red candles, right? Like on Bitcoin, August 5th was a big panic red candle. It was right here. Wow, this is how complicated my charts actually look. But it was right here. Right, August 5th, yen panic, boom, everything falls off of a cliff. It looks like COVID 2.0 is happening. I buy that. And we bought it actually right here, like between here and here. Didn't buy Bitcoin. Go back and watch the other stuff to figure out what I bought, or don't. I don't care. You're going to hear that from me a lot. But buying these big red candles is the way to deal with this volatility, because this volatility is very sharp, very quick. This market is no longer traded by humans. Humans are at the whim of algorithms. Algorithms move at speeds which we can't even imagine. Therefore, these candles are much more likely. Therefore, these corrections will be much sharper, especially when as to what liquidity is telling us. Now, when it comes to, I forgot the thing I was going to say. That's the idea, that buy it up, and then liquidity this should be the next leg of liquidity as the money printing starts. Probably some big event that plays out that is going to be used as the excuse. On the watch list itself, XRP, XLM already doing insane. That's great. Solana. Wait, no, let's look at it on this chart. Solana is up here. So it's trending upwards. It's going to do fantastic. It's expensive right now. Everybody wants it. I'm happy to buy it down here around this range, around the 80, 85 range. Let's see where it corrects to. That's going to be a great bet. TON has done great. Probably going to continue to do great. Could it correct back down to here? Yes. Also, check it out. Look at this. Look at what the S&P does. The S&P constantly just rides around this range. All right. Every single time it just corrects down to the same fib, and it's been doing that since ages ago, since the 2008 crash. COVID went down below and then came back above. Could it correct all the way down to here? Yeah. When it does, go time, which means buy. Should you? No, definitely not. You should you should write down your own strategy. Me, I'll be happy to buy. NASDAQ, same thing. Writing that fib range. Could it correct back down to here? Yes. In that time, buy. Yes, absolutely. Matic, same thing. It's done fantastically well after buying that candle. It's just starting. If I wanted to add to this position, I would. I'm not going to. Near has done really well this time around. It'll probably correct back down to this range. Don't know for sure what's going to happen, but this one I'm going to pick up because of the conversations that are being had. Atom, Dot, both of those are doing great. Link is another one that is literally elite approved and building out the future financial system. It is a data play, connects into AI, it's connecting to DTCC. It's God level shit. It's one of the older coins as well that's actually done really well. It correcting back down to this 11 range, happy. Going anywhere below that, my, what a discount. Oh my G, I will buy that up. Algo, blasting off to the moon, not buying it here, coming down. Feel free to take a look at this and decide when you would want to buy it. That's where the blue line is. Sui's done really well. This was launch, so it's a brand new coin. This one's really, in Rahul's strategy is that in every cycle you want to pick some new coins that are going to have amazing performance. It's been doing really well. I'll be happy to buy it down to around that dollar range. Could it come back down? Yeah. Does it have negative divergences happening? Yeah. So around that dollar range, happy. But again, depends on how low we go. Again, these opportunities are going to be just snap of the finger type opportunities if history plays out. So if you're not sitting there watching all the time, you're lost. Render, same thing. Anything down around that $4 range is stupid cheap, but anything between $6 and $4, happy to buy that. Negative divergences, no, nothing yet. And that's all I'm going to go through here. Now, as far as meme coins, I'm not even going to touch it right now. Actually, I'll touch it because you might be looking into meme coins. Shiba hasn't really done much of a move. Could it correct back down? Yes. Is it a good buy? Not a bad buy. Pepe is the Trump coin, doing well. Needs to correct. WIF needs to correct. Giga correcting already. That's not bad. Popcat has been falling a little bit. That's nice. The meme coins is a whole different game. You decide what you would like to buy. So that is the update. Again, if you're somebody who's sitting there going, oh my God, I have cash on the sidelines. I wish but the bull market's going off to the moon. No, Bitcoin's going off to the moon. The vast majority of assets, the other ones, actually just made their first move. Liquidity is saying that we truly haven't even started the bull run properly yet. Okay, this is what, let me go back to Bitcoin. This is what a true money printing bull run looks like. Okay, this was COVID, this was money printing. This is what it actually does. That's that little bump that we looked at called COVID. This is what's been happening. Liquidity has just been trending sideways with little bumps here and there. And it is now finally getting to the point where it looks like it's going to break out. If I don't have 30 random bars on there, you will see that. It looks like now is going to be the next leg where it actually breaks out and we go on the actual money printing cycle. When we're done with this, this is going to look like this whole cycle is going to look like a little pimple. So the vast majority of it's ahead of us. Do not get shaken out. Do not get FOMO. Simple rule, go to the weekly, buy big old fucking red candles, okay? Buy big red candles when they happen. And when green candles happen, think about taking profits, or don't think about it, or go meditate, or go do something else with your life. And that's it. See you next time.